President Trump hospital condition update and the market. This is what I found on Axios.com, Axios News. It came out 14 minutes ago. The headline says, Trump's health, what we know. It is very difficult to get a comprehensive, trustworthy read on the severity of President Trump's infection. What they're saying, Sean Conley, Trump's lead doctor, said all weekend that Trump is doing well and experiencing only relatively minor symptoms. And with its many photo ops, the White House is clearly trying to send the same message. Yes, but the details we have about Trump's treatment regimen could call that optimism into question. Trump is now taking the steroid dexamethasone, Conley said Sunday. That drug may help save lives of seriously ill patients, especially those on ventilators, but it's less effective for patients who are only on supplemental oxygen and has shown no benefit in the mildest cases. Trump is also receiving two other treatments, remdesivir, which has been shown to reduce hospitalization but not to save seriously ill patients' lives, and an experimental antibody treatment from Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. Between the lines, the fact that Trump's doctors added dexamethasone to his treatment regimen likely means that they were concerned about his condition deteriorating, possibly because of a drop in his oxygen levels. Doctors uninvolved in the Trump's treatment told Bloomberg, "It feels like a whole lot of criminology, and I'd be just happier if they'd tell us the truth." If you have interest in finance and topics that are relevant in today's world, please drop a like. And if you are new here, also subscribe, hit the bell, and share this video with a friend. About 16 hours earlier this came out, White House physician says Trump is improving, admits he was on oxygen Friday. White House physician Sean Conley said at a press briefing Sunday that President Trump experienced two transient episodes in which his oxygen saturation level dropped below 94% and that he received supplemental oxygen on Friday after registering a high fever. Why it matters? Conley repeatedly evaded questions at Saturday's press briefing about whether Trump had received oxygen and insisted that the president was doing extremely well. They provided us with this clip.
Good morning, everyone. Since we spoke last, the President has continued to improve. As with any illness, there are frequent ups and downs over the course, particularly when a patient is being so closely watched 24 hours a day. We review and debate every finding, compare it to existing science and literature, weighing the risks and benefits of every intervention, its timing, as well as any potential impacts a delay may have. Over the course of his illness, the President has experienced two episodes of transient drops in his oxygen saturation. We debated the reasons for this and whether we'd even intervene. It was a determination of the team, based predominantly on the timeline from the initial diagnosis, that we initiate dexamethasone. I'd like to take this opportunity now, given some speculation over the course of the illness, the last couple of days, update you on the course of his own illness. Thursday night into Friday morning when I left the bedside, the President was doing well, with only mild symptoms, and his oxygen was in the high 90s. Late Friday morning when I returned to the bedside, the President had a high fever, and his oxygen saturation was transiently dipping below 94%. Given these two developments, I was concerned for possible rapid progression of the illness. I recommended the President we try some supplemental oxygen, see how he'd respond. He was fairly adamant that he didn't need it. He was not short of breath. He was tired, had the fever, and that was about it. And after about a minute, on only 2 liters, his saturation levels were back over 95%. Stayed on that for about an hour, maybe, and it was off and gone. Later that day, by the time the team here was at the bedside, the President had been up out of bed, moving about the residence with only mild symptoms. Despite this, everyone agreed the best course of action was to move to Walter Reed for more thorough evaluation and monitoring.
All this tells me that he is being monitored from close, getting the best care there is, and with access to the best medication we know of. which ultimately means he'll keep on recovery, getting better and better, faster and faster. Leave your comments, thoughts and ideas on the comment section down below. About 16 hours ago as well, this came out. White House aide says physician withheld health specifics to lift Trump's spirits. White House Communications Director Alyssa Farah said Sunday that White House physician Sean Conley withheld specific details at Saturday's press briefing about Donald Trump's medical condition in order to convey confidence and raise the spirits of the president. Driving the news, Conley and the White House have come under intense criticism after Chief of Staff Mark Meadows provided an anonymous statement to reporters on Saturday saying that Trump had a very concerning period on Friday, contradicting the more rosy assessment Conley had provided in a television briefing just moments earlier. They also provide us with this 2-minute clip.
When you say Dr. Connolly, the information he has put forth has been accurate, nobody is saying that it wasn't accurate. They're saying that he omitted some stuff or he wouldn't comment on some stuff. And even today he kind of came out and he acknowledged, well, he was doing that because he was trying to put on a brave face. Listen to him and I'll get your response on the other side.
Sure. I was trying to reflect the upbeat attitude that the team, the president, that his course of illness has had. I didn't want to give any information that might steer the course of illness in another direction, and in doing so, it came off that we were trying to hide something, which wasn't necessarily true.
And it did come off as if they were trying to hide something. And the critics yesterday were saying, look, it just appears like they're not giving us the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Not to say that he said anything wrong or anything false or gave any bad information. It was all of the information that people believed he should have done. What are your thoughts on how Dr. Connolly handled that?
Right. So 2 things on that. We're committed to being transparent with the public, but what I've learned in these moments is that accuracy is in fact more important than speed. We'd rather get you the fully accurate, full picture information rather than rush out the door with facts when we don't necessarily have all of that. So while of course we would have liked to maybe be able to share that sooner, I think it's more important.
He had the facts, Alyssa. He had the facts. He just chose not to share them because he was kind of putting on a brave face, an upbeat face, as he said it.
And to my second point, though, what I would say is it's a common medical practice that you want to convey confidence and you want to raise the spirits of the person you're treating.
Right.
I know this president. I don't know that he needs his spirits raised, but I think it's actually a very common medical practice to do that. So if anything, the doctor was giving a really strong and confident viewpoint.
But isn't it also a common medical practice to put the proper information out there, put all the information out there and let people make up their own minds?
Which is absolutely why we had the chief of staff later give some additional updates and then Dr. Connolly out there today.
This information tells me that the doctor is trying to be positive and steer things in a positive upward path, but at the same time, accurate information is required for everyone to make an understanding judgment, and the patient being able to take it with the seriousness is required, not more or not less, but what is required. This is what I found on Yahoo Finance. Stocks futures gain on Trump prognosis, oil jumps, markets wrap. U.S. futures climbed with global stocks on optimism over economic stimulus and that President Donald Trump may soon leave the hospital. Consumer companies and banks led a broad advance among European stocks. Equities in Asia notched gains while crude oil rebounded from a 3-week low. The yen retreated and treasuries were steady. In U.S. pre-market trading, Regeneron Pharmaceuticals rallied after Trump was given an experimental antibody treatment made by a drug maker. Apple, Tesla, and Microsoft also rose. Cheap isn't enough. Without a Brexit breakthrough taking stock, a member of Trump's medical team said Sunday that the president could be released from hospital as soon as Monday after treatment for COVID-19, but Trump's condition remains clouded by confusion, with the president's effort to show strength contradicted by conflicting accounts from his doctors. As for news around Trump, it will likely continue to cause extra volatility, said Robert Grill, chief strategist at Merck Think Private Bankers AG. I think this week clear progress on a deal on the next U.S. fiscal program would boost risk appetite the most. On the stimulus front, Trump tweeted from hospital that a deal needs to get done. Nancy Pelosi was optimistic on Friday that a bipartisan stimulus bill can be done and said his diagnosis kind of changed the dynamic. Traders also pointed to polls suggesting a stronger lead for Democratic Joe Biden and the possibility that a clear winner will emerge from the November 3rd election. U.S. markets have been nervous in recent weeks about a close election and the risk of a long and messy legal battle. Polls are shifting from a close election and prolonged uncertainty to more a dominant Biden and clean succession, said Peter Ronstreich, head of market strategy at Swiss Quote Bank SA, that is reducing uncertainty and increasing risk appetite. While we still see some volatility, which is something the market hates, it still does not seem to be anything major. The market seems not to care or is taking a positive attitude that everything will be okay. We will see how things keep on developing from here and on. All indicates that the market will keep on a slow but steady recovery. President Trump is young, strong, and being monitored 24/7. He has access to the best equipment, medicine, and the best doctors. The US president will keep on recovering like the Brazilian president did and the English president did. Thank you so much for watching this video. Check out some of my other videos coming up on the next screen. Have a wonderful day.